Okay.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to tonight's show, episode something, uh,
19.
19, the Biz Shiz show, where we have a real yarn, straight up, no bullshit, about business in a real way. So, welcome to the show. Thanks for those of you that continue to tune in. Man, it's really, yeah, if I'm honest, I can speak for myself and Nick too. We really appreciate it. It's cool to see the depth of engagement. I think there's vanity metrics in social media, and then there's just real metrics, man. And by the level of the conversation that we can go to. So we appreciate you. I hope you're getting value, and it sounds like you are, because that's our intention, right? It's just to provide a forum or a mechanism or a thing where business owners can have a real good talk about real business, because business is not always what they say in the goddamn ebooks. It's a pretty lonely place. It's a continual thing. It never stops. You can always get bigger and better. And you got a lot on your plate, right? You're not just in the delivery part of your business, whether you're doing the plumbing or making the widgets thing. You got to manage the finances, the strategy, the culture, the sales, the marketing, and then all the little bits in between. And tonight we're talking about pretty much how to build high performing teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
We're aware that this is potentially like quite a big rabbit hole, and so we're really going to do our best to try to keep it tight, keep it to that kind of 30-minute window. But we're happy to run this over a couple of weeks if the interest is there from you guys that are watching, and you've got questions. So fire them at us as we go, because it is, if you've got a team and you've got a business and you're starting to run. And you're starting to have some challenges, maybe around culture or finding the right people or retaining the right people, or any of the potential stuff that comes up. People wanting pay rises, people wanting, time off for things. There's so much within that. So we're going to unpack it a little bit tonight. We're keen to try to give you, like, I guess, a bird's eye view, a high level kind of way to look at it. We always say mindset first. So look at the macro first, and where we need to. We're going to dive into a little bit of technical stuff. But yeah, so just going to say what's up to everyone who is on. Looks like there's a whole bunch of people jumping on. So good to see. Yeah. So how do you build a high performing team? It's a real a buzzword, and all the gurus out there with their freaking ebooks are gonna, be offering their 8 steps to recruiting the best team, or, look, and that's all great stuff. What it really comes down to, and we've talked about this quite a few times, is it's about setting the culture within your business, and it starts with you as the leader, being really clear on the impact that you're trying to make, or that you do make with your business to the marketplace. So, once you get clear on that, it'll be far easier for you to start bringing in the right team members and being able to actually sort of empower them and guide them to do the right thing within your business.
welcome to tonight's show.
Well, what's going on there, bro?
Oh, my phone's talking to me.
You're good?
Yep, I'm good.
Sweet. Yeah, so that kind of frames up where we're going with tonight. Yeah, what's your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, no, on you, man. On you, man. I think, at the end of the day, I think if you ask the greats, the ones that are climbing massive mountains, like the $1 billion companies and stuff like that, they'll say there's 3 things to growing a strong business, or a massive business. And that's not saying that we all want to grow a massive business, but there's 3 components. Love your market, right? Which is your avatar, your persona, your customer, whatever you want to call it, your target market. Second thing is grow a great team. Right. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, whether you're a products business or a services business, more true in a services business, but at the end of the day, your team are your brand. They are your value proposition. They are the value. They are the offer to the market. They are the ones that deliver on the brand promise. So it's about growing a great team. So it's super important. And the third thing is like keep innovating, right? And so you just got to keep getting better at it. That's the thing about business, man. It's just this ongoing journey, man. And so I think some of us forget that. We get tired and things like that. So we need breaks. But man, you just got to keep going.
Yeah. I think Richard Branson's famous for saying, don't worry about taking care of your customers, take care of your people, and they'll take care of your customers.
Nice.
you know. And I think
Nice.
that's you know, that mindset there is the essence of good business. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Dan? Good to see you on, mate. Yeah, hope you're doing well, mate. Been a while since we've had an update for you, so chime in, mate. How's things been going? Yeah. So
Hey, Daniel Sutton. Nice.
yeah. So let's dive into the first one around culture, because I feel like, you know, culture is such a, like I say, it is a bit of a buzzword out there right now, but that said, it is really, really important. And I know last week we had Stu, who was, you know, chatting to us while we were running the live, and he was having some challenges, you know, and now that he got more team members, he seemed like he was busier and doing, you know, achieving less than he was when he was less of a team. And so, you know, how do you build culture within your business? What are some of the things that you can do? And you know, culture isn't a ping pong table and a fucking box of beers on a Friday. Particularly when we're talking about high performance. Culture is, you know, holding each other to a high standard of integrity. It's, you know, talking about our company goals and our company values, and actually living those and reliving those. You know, when we say we're going to deliver on time, that means we deliver on time, no excuses. You know, and we've got to build that culture of delivering on time within the business. If that's the value that you want to, you know, that you want to live within your business, but you've got to live that. You've got to own that completely. And you know, companies that do that and do that well are the ones that grow massively because people buy into it. They're like, frick, these guys always deliver on time.
Strongly agree. I got a bunch of people tuned in on the Biz Shiz page, but they're just Facebook users. I don't know who they are.
Yeah,
What's up, people?
if you're watching and there's a thing that says, I don't know what, there's a thing where you click like or access or something, and then your name comes up so we know who it is. But yeah,
What he just said.
there's a technical thing, right? But yeah.
If you like StreamYard, it gives you, it shows your name when you comment, I think. Yeah. Hey, do you want to define culture? What is culture?
Well, you know, it's I like the statement we've got down there. Is it something that you've set? So have you really talked about with your people, you know, how we communicate with each other? We, you know, we value each other's opinions. There's no stupid questions. You know, one of the things that I used to do was, you know, when we get into a rhythm of a daily meeting, that, you know, there's no ranks in these meetings. It's just like, hey guys, what are the problems? What do you guys want fixed? Who's going to take responsibility for that? You know, rather than being a dictatorship where it's, you know, you do this and you do that, and someone's just firing orders all the time. The challenge with that kind of culture is that as soon as they're finished with that set of orders, they come back to you for another set, and you're never ever going to get a team of people who are, you know, taking responsibility for what happens within the business, and they're just going to be relying on you to tell them what to do all the time. And I think that kind of comes to that comment there from, it looks, it's actually Neil Thompson. So Neil, if you jump in, bro, you can actually somehow you click, you want to follow StreamYard or something, and then your name will come up. But yeah, he says, like, I think it comes from us owners. I'm a come follow me type of leader. I believe in positive endorsement of people's achievements. Yeah, so that's bang on. It's dead on. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, man?
If we're on culture, right? Because high performing teams there's a number of components that kind of make up the environment that can create a high performing team, right? One is leadership, right? As Neil Thompson alluded to. Straight up agree, Neil. You're exactly right, and it's something that we experienced when we were trying to work with OD and CPOs and HR around culture. You know, so we go and do some culture workshops, some values workshops, and put the pretty words up on the wall and shit like that.
Up on the wall, the mission statement and all that crap. That's my culture, though, right?
You know, yeah, that forms culture, right? So it's a complex thing. And then what I'll say is, yeah, look, it all goes back to the leader. So the CEO, usually of the corporations, you know, you need to consistently be pumping that out, right? Don't just say we're customer centric, right? Which pretty much just means we give a fuck about our customers. Don't just say it. You got to do it, live it, be it. KPIs have to be driven that way. Their bonuses need to be tied to that kind of stuff. You know, you need to be measuring that shit. You need to be talking about that shit in all your weekly heartbeats, your daily heartbeats, or your pulses, your agile, your scrum meetings, whatever you have. It just needs to be consistent, you know? And so what I'll do is I'll try and bring it back to small business, because that's generally who we're talking to, you know, that don't have big HR departments and stuff like that. So for yourself, Daniel, you know, probably my suggestion, right? Because you're kind of, it's a side hustle right now, right? To be honest, wouldn't worry too much about any of this stuff, right? You shouldn't be spending your time worrying about how to build a high performing team. What you should be doing, like, you are your team, right? And so you should be high performing. So what are the things that you're doing, right, which form your culture, by the way, that are high performing? 1, I love my customer. 2, I've got a growth mindset. 3, I'm constantly learning. 4, I'm really proactive and empathetic, right, in my dealings with my customer and the way I do my business and stuff like that, right? And so that you do have a culture of 1. Right. And so, yeah, it's just about being somewhat aware of that. I wouldn't be overly aware of it right now. But when you go to scale, when you go to hire someone in, you need to be teaching them those things too. Right. And so what I'll say tactically, this is where I think people fuck it up. Some people don't have a job description and they go and put an ad on Seek or talk to some recruitment agents, or they go and advertise wherever they trade me, whatever, for some people. Right.
Yeah.
I think that's the first mistake. So get a job description. But you know what? Even before that, write a list of personality traits that you want. That's what I think, right? Because that's culture. And as we know from the guru big dogs that have these billion-dollar companies, man, your team are going to have a significant influence to the level of how many people you help, or how many in your market you help, right? Which then drops out how much gross revenue or net profit you make, depending on how you configure your business on the inside, right? So yeah, culture is a conscious thing, you know, and it is driven by you. And it's just around, I think, having an awareness of what you guys value, you know, so it does come back to values. And so you just got to know that stuff, right? And it's about, man, I really give a stuff about this business, and this business is dependent on its market. So I really give a stuff about its market. And so you just need to live and breathe that all day, every day, in everything you do. There's 5 key areas of business: finance, strategy, delivery, sales, and marketing. They need to be seriously, as they call it, customer centric.
Yeah. And I want to talk a little bit about this thing, you know, where cultures set themselves, and we've all probably had a job or worked maybe in a business where no one really knows who's in charge, and people just kind of pick things up and do things. And there's, you know, when something goes wrong, they blame each other, or they blame someone who's not there. Or it's actually one of the big corporates that we deal with. We won't name them, but let's say they have big red buildings around the country, and they are very good at all of their team members are very good at going, oh, that's not my job, it's not my responsibility. And you know, that is something that if you're not actively building a culture of responsibility, that's what it defaults to. That's what will happen within, whether it's a business of one contractor, or, you know, in this case of, you know, 90 plus stores. The culture has set itself. It's not my problem, bro. Not my responsibility. That's not my job. I don't work on Tuesdays. And these are excuses that I've heard hundreds and hundreds of times, and all different, you know, up and down the entire country. And it's just purely because the culture hasn't been set and followed through from a high level from the leader. Yeah. So do you want to talk a bit about leadership, John?
Yeah, so if we jam on leadership, right, which is another part of you know, how to build a high performing team, you know, I think it's important that we know what our role as a leader is. Maybe I'll talk about some of the things that your role isn't. You know, you don't have to be the boss. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to point the finger and direct everything either. I think we get that mixed up, right, because of the way that we're taught in school, or that we're raised, or society teaches us anyway on our journey to becoming an entrepreneur or business owner. And you know what your role is, though, man, is you need to have some reasonable understanding of what the current situation is. You know, for Daniel Sutton, we're 1 employee, or the guy with the workshop last week, you know, we're maybe 3 employees. You know, and then we want to be 5 employees, right? And we want to, instead of servicing, I don't know, 30 cars a month, we want to service, you know, I don't know, 300 cars a month, or 50 cars a month, right? And so you got to know that, right? And then you got to know what that journey looks like. But your job is to communicate that to your team. This is what we're here for, guys, right? To go from 30 vehicles a week to 50 to scale, right? We need to give a stuff about these 30. We need to tidy the car. We need to not have bolts missing when we give it back to them, right? We need to, let them know when it's going to be ready and all that kind of stuff. Maybe give it a vacuum, maybe give it a clean before we leave it, right? So they're delighted, I think is the word that a lot of the customer satisfaction and net promoter score measures are kind of using at the moment, right? Delight. We want to give them delight. So they love us, right? The old terms are kind of, loyalty, advocacy,
I
raving
really
fans.
like cricket delight, eh? It's one of my favorite.
Yeah, I think I'm a pixie
If you put that on
caramel.
my dashboard, if you put that on my dashboard when I pick up my car, I'd be real delighted, eh?
Melted from sitting in the sun. So what your job as leadership is to know where you are, know where you want to go, and then work with the team, right? Get the team involved in this bit on how we're going to go from here to there, kind of thing, right? Because when they come up with the plan, they own it a bit more. And that's what you want. Again, your job, which we get confused or forget a lot of the time, is to have all the answers. Your job is not to do that. Your job is to facilitate that, and we serve our team. Right. And so, yeah, look, a business owner, you're a servant in a lot of ways. You serve the IRD, you serve the government, whether you like it or not. Well, you choose to be in this country. You serve the market.
At the moment.
Well, I don't know. It depends on your passion levels, I guess. But it's like that guy that always complains about his job, man. I'm like, okay. I can't really leave my job. Yeah, okay. But
well, you can. You just choose not to.
But and then let them develop a plan, man, and let them set some rules. How do we want to do things around here, guys? And obviously you're a facilitator. So if they say, oh, you know what, we just turn the cars around really, really fast and we don't really give a stuff and we don't actually care about them as long as they pay our bill, then we're okay. You're like, yeah, guys, do you think that's really a path to go from 30 to 50? And so we facilitate, we coach, right? And that's your job. And so, yeah, you serve them too, right? In terms of facilitator. And then get out of the way. Support them, be there for them, but get out of the way. Let them come up with the plans. Let them come up with efficiency plans. Let them come up with marketing campaigns. Let them come up with sales tricks and stuff like that. Oh, what if we put a Turkish delight on their car when we roll it out? Support them on it. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the role of a leader? Where have you maybe learned something? Where have you maybe stuffed something up? I'm keen to kind of hear what you guys think. I think leadership, you got to get it right early on in the piece. That's the other thing I think I'll say. A lot of people are scared to recruit. I can't find good people. That's another excuse or another problem that I hear a lot for business owners, and I can't find good people. And what I will say, part of it is, man, well, you better start learning, because if you want to grow your business, that's going to be a key part of it. And I think the second thing is, man, shit, yeah, if you've tried once or twice and you got some bad results, well, shit, you're going to give up, man? Or you're going to know that, man, for me to grow this business and help a lot of my market, I'm probably going to need, I don't know, I'm going to need to do this 50 times or 100 times. Right. And so get started.
At figuring out I was just going to say, how do you recruit high performers? And
yeah, look, we're going to get into that. And look, the other thing I'll say is get into your reps, man. Get into your goddamn reps. You don't go and do one rep. Oh, I hired a bad employee. They fucked me over. They stole. Da da da. It's like, bro, you got to take some. It's all on you. It's all on you. Well, what did you
take the responsibility? You hired a muppet. Bad call. Fuck, it sucks. That's business.
Yeah. Dust yourself off, man. Get up, go again.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, right, you might get smarter. You might hire an HR consultant. You might read a fucking ebook, man, or you might listen to Beavis and Butthead talking on the Biz Shiz show.
That one's Butthead.
Okay, yeah.
It's the same. It's reversed. Like, this is my right side, so then I'm pointing left.
Yeah. Okay, so that makes you Beavis. I don't think they're actually much better than each other. But I'm Ted and you're Bill, just for the record. Yeah. I actually like that one, eh? Beavis. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, right. So recruiting high performers?
High performers, yeah.
What's your jam on this?
And I think frick, people that are really good, fuck, they're already employed, mate.
True.
Okay, COVID, blah blah blah. There's probably a bit more of a bunch of people out there that there's a bit more of a talent pool right now than there's been in a long time. But, prior to January, I mean, most of the high performers were out there already employed. So, what we come back to culture. Like, why would someone want to stay in your organization over where they are right now, given the option? And again, I say it's not a ping pong table and a box of beers on a Friday, but they want to know that they're in a place that they perform at a high level, that their contributions are not only recognized, but they're encouraged. And not only that, they've given them the autonomy to actually, take a project and run with it and not be micromanaged and not be told what to do all the way, but actually, allowed to go and do something. And if they make mistakes, then, you have a good discussion about that. But, ultimately, they're given the ability to be a high performer.
We got 9 minutes, man. Man, I'm only just getting warmed up, so yeah,
Right.
I don't know how to respond, man.
Yeah.
Well, I want to respond to Michelle, and what I will say around, I love how you're taking the conversation to what do they want, what do the high performers want, because again, coming back to that, we're a servant mindset, or how do we love and serve, right? If you're Buddhist or whatever, but they're an avatar, just like you'll do avatar analysis or ideal client profiling on your clients, right? So that you can have effective marketing and sales communications with them.
You want to recruit.
100,000,000%, right? So those of you that follow the page, which is the Biz Shiz show with Jung and Nick, I think I did a pretty tactical video. I think I was sitting in my car wearing a gray hoodie. If you guys want to know some tactics around that, but yeah, you pretty much got to profile them. Sorry?
The shady hoodie.
Yeah, and that's where I was doing the finger movements like this or something like that. And that's the only thing that someone commented on.
The camera.
Yeah, I was like 1, 2, 3. The third point is, and fucking adolescence, man. Fucking adolescence. But you know what I'll say? So yeah, look, there's a great book, right? For if you are interested in developing your leadership, whether it's of yourself and or of team. Great book by Daniel Pink. I think I've mentioned it before, called Drive. And he talks about motivation 2.0 because the world is starting to change. And so motivation has changed. And so when we're thinking about our high performers and how we want to attract them, we've got to think about them. And he pretty much said there's 3 things that it comes down to. Look, it's a big ass book, get the summary, watch the YouTube video, do it on Audible, whatever you do. But there's 3 things. It's purpose, mastery, and autonomy, right? And so that talks to the micromanaging thing. Purpose, man, they want to know why, right? Like, especially the Gen Ys like us. Right. Why am I selling cardboard boxes? Why am I selling shoes? Why am I selling internet connections? Like what is that serving? How am I contributing to the world? So you want to know that, right? And a lot of us in small business, that's what I will say, we're quite meaningful. Like Michelle's brand, which we're going to talk about soon. I imagine that's really quite meaningful, man. And Faye, I imagine she's got quite a meaningful business. Actually, man, 9 out of 10 of my clients have really, really meaningful businesses. Right. And then they want mastery, man. Again, part of our role, if you can get your head around this, is to facilitate an environment and a system and some processes where they can do their life's best work. Because at the end of the day, inherently, most humans, I would say 99% of humans, they want to get better every day and they want to do their best and live their best life. And so if you can,
no one wants to go to a job where they just are there to make up the numbers.
Right. And if they are,
fuck, they ain't gonna hang around.
Yeah, the high performers aren't. But then you got to, with all due respect, Air New Zealand got a lot of things right, a lot of long tenure. So yeah, that's one of the things we'll do as business coaches is we'll say, oh yeah, how many have you got on your team? Oh, I've got 7 people. How long have they been there? What's the average tenure? Oh, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Oh. That tells me instantly straight about your leadership and your management practices. But in New Zealand, man, with their latest thing of redundancy, you got people that are there 10, 15, 20 years. And that tells us something as well.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. And by the way, money, money's important to your team. And we don't call them employee, or I don't call them employees. I definitely don't call them staff. I call them team because they're almost like family, man. Especially for small businesses where this is such a fragile little dream. These mofos are very important in getting it where you want to go. I know we only got 5 minutes left, man. We've got to hit Michelle. Any other questions or comments that you guys want to make around high performing teams, leadership, culture, values, anything like that? Because we're going to shut out soon. We want to try and keep things shorter and sharper. So I hope this has been of value. If not, throw shade at Nick. Or ask some more questions. So because that's the thing, we can kind of speak generally, right? Because we don't have a lot of context, but with Michelle, we have a lot of context.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
So you want to read them out because obviously we can't put them up on the screen.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. So Michelle Boyd, she asked some questions.
Neil's got it now. He's got the thanks, bro. There's stuff sticking around as a ring endorsement. How your culture is working. Absolutely, bro. 100% nailed it. Yeah.
I like this Neil guy. I think he knows his stuff. He's been in business for a while.
I told you we've been chatting offline. He's the one with the hospitality business based down in Kapiti. He's keen to jump in and do some stuff with us down the track. So.
Oh, nice, Neil. Oh, yeah, good business volume, right? Low margin. So we got, you're a great example, actually. Your team and your overall brand experience is super, super important. Hey, Facebook user says, great info, guys. You must be a good, smart, good-looking person.
Whoever the Facebook user is definitely talking about me. So did the same principles apply
this thing
to collab? To collab.
100 million% Facebook user. 100 million%, man. At the end of the day, after you learn all the business sciencey stuff, strategy, growth hacking, how to scale, exponential, get digitized, the social media, digital marketing, after all that crap, at the end of the day, business is done with people. Yeah. And you need to know what you have to offer as a person and what you're looking for in a person. And
it's Polly.
Hey, Polly. Long story short, Polly. I want to say a word, but I'm not going to. I'm saying be a good person and look for good people.
You got to go like the page, Polly, and then you can like the StreamYard thing, and then your name will come up so we know who you are. But yeah, all good. All right, read out Sarah's stuff. Let's go. We got 3 minutes.
I remembered her name because I care, and her name is Michelle Boyd. Thank you very much. So just some context, and then we'll get into a question. So I asked her for some context. Health and fitness industry, target market is 30 to 60-year-old gym goers or sports people who are in pain or dysfunction, limiting from their full fitness potential. They offer a repeatable rehab system delivered by upskilled PTs or personal trainers, then into gym memberships, group training, and personal training. They have 70+ members and growing. They have 3 full-time employees or FTEs, and they're moving to 5 pretty quickly within the next few months. And she's looking forward to our comments. Thanks, Michelle. I hope we've added some value so far. Man, we probably maybe could have answered this one first. And then a question that she asked before I asked for the context. We are in a growth phase. It's a shift for our customers because it has always been just my husband providing the service. As he is the face of the brand, we're nurturing their trust and mindset to have the same service with anyone in the team. Our new contractors are fantastic and we want to keep them on and happy. They are / will be a big part of the customer's culture experience or brand experience. But we're also thinking about systems too, and we should be careful about not depending on specific people for our brand. Good timing as always, and she's referring to the topic that we chose tonight randomly. So many topics in there, bro. Do you want to jam? Just pick something up.
And in the interest of keeping it short and sharp, I'm gonna go a little bit tactical here and just go look with this, making this shift from your husband being I'm gonna say it's a personal trainer who's spending time training face to face is absolutely whenever you onboard new people, they don't go to him at all. They go straight to your team members, just so that you're not going to create any more of the reliance on him. And then what you're going to do is you're going to start to phase your current people that are working with him, maybe just one appointment out of their monthly thing or weekly or how many frequency you do it. So they, if they have 3 appointments, 2 of them are still with him and 1 is with a new person, and you slowly drip feed them over so that you can get feedback on how your other trainer's doing, but as well as that, they still get that experience where they feel they're a part of your business culture and not just relying on your husband. So that's a real tactical thing, but that's how I would start to kind of wean them off. That's my point, bro. What do you think?
Yep, strongly agree. something that's going to help you with that, man. I don't have a sequence for you, Michelle, but yeah, starting to productize. Yeah, well, it's not really linear, right? Your situation, obviously, in business isn't linear. There's a lot of things. It's a interconnected, holistic ecosystem of multiple things going on that affect each other. But what I will say is these early team members are very, very important. And again, there's this mutually beneficial relationship. And so you do need to give them a reasonably high level of trust.
Yep.
But we need to earn that as a business, right? As a brand, because they are really, really pivotal in your future performance, right? If you look at the first, I don't know, 10 or even 100 employees of Google, right? Multi-millionaires right now. You look at the receptionist that started with Alibaba and Jack Ma, you know, like, I don't know, probably on the senior leadership team, multi-billionaire maybe even, right? So these people potentially do have the future, right? And so that's where your responsibility comes in. And I know you talked about that too. How do we keep them around and all that kind of stuff? So first thing I'll say is, yeah, right, culture. I think it's almost culture first. What I want you to think about, or what I suggest you think about, is how to build a business or a pathway, a very strong pathway within your business. Now, we don't have to overly systemize. I do love that you're looking at systemization. I think productization has got to come up for you, right? But because that's where, yeah, right. So yeah, culture, productization. But then I think to start with those, you need to go to brand, if I'm honest, right? Like, I don't know what you call your brand. Let's just call it get moving or whatever, get moving again, right? Let's just call it something. Get moving again. So we call it that brand, right? And then that brand starts to build up a personality, a relationship, a reputation in the market, right? And it's not on, whoever your husband is, John Smith, right? Because that's what they're experiencing. And that's for the 70 that exist already. So as you go to Rangi, as you go to scale, right, these 70, what I'm going to suggest, man, and I know this sounds counterintuitive, you got a niche. You need to niche, right? So what I suggest, sort out your brand, call it something, right? And you probably need to spend some time with a brand person. And I know a really good person. I think we should spend some time together. Actually, I think you're in a really pivotal phase. And I'd love to maybe just talk for an hour, give you 5 cents of what I think, and then you can go from there. But I think, yeah, you got to get your brand sorted. What does it represent? Who are you trying to help? What's on overall the value proposition and the unique selling points, the competitive advantage, et cetera, et cetera. Then I think you productize, right? And then it doesn't matter if it's John Smith or Sarah, Mary Jane, or whoever it is, right? They're going to get a pretty similar experience. Then I think you seriously invest and trust in these first few team members, as I call them. You might call them contractors. But again, whether they're contractor, part-time employee, full-time employee, JV, they're team members, man. They're part of the family, essentially, that are growing this big, beautiful brand to help these athletes get moving again, and these 30 to 60-year-olds get moving again.
30 to 60 is quite a big, it's quite a broad range.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'd want to see more specifically, are the 45 to 60 or 30 to 45s more your target market? Because
go and spend some time with a brand person. They're going to have this conversation with you, Michelle, and you need to do that. I think you might even be in marketing, so you know this stuff. And I know that you've broadened out early on, but you're going to have to niche down now, right? So I'd rather have, rather than taking ages to grow 3 sites or gyms, serving a 36-year-old market, why don't you have like, I don't know, 50 sites all around the country that are the best in New Zealand at getting 40 to 50-year-olds moving again. Own that space and really stand out. Like, I make websites. Do you want me to make your website? It means nothing to you, right? But if I say I make websites for dentists and I know how to generate leads and I know how to convert them and I know how I can feed them straight into your system, whatever your ERP is or your CRM is, now I'm the website guy for dentists, right? And I can start to grow my brand or reputation that way.
We've done heaps of talks on niching, man. It's such a powerful
100%, right? So I think, yeah, that's your sequence of events. Go to sort out your brand, get your thinking right, then productize, then invest in the team. And then what you got to do for the team to keep them around is you've got to think about them, right? And this is about talking to them, I think, and maybe an HR consultant, maybe, but it's about building a pathway for them, right? So something that I'm working on with someone who's in a really similar industry, actually a couple of clients that are in a really similar industry. I've got 3 clients in the health practitioner industry, by the way, at the moment. So what I'll say is it's about, are they part-time? Are they full-time? Are they contractors? Then are we revenue share? Then are we JVing? Because when you go to get other sites, you need, right, unless you're going to bring in a practice manager that kind of manages everything from head office, shit, man, you might as well give them the responsibility. And because they're delivering more value to your business, they get more value too. And again, that's that mutually beneficial relationship between two parties, which is what it's all about at the end of the day. And you give them revenue share. If not, potentially, accountants might argue with me on this, and they might say, hey, you might give them shareholding in the overall group or the holding company, whatever. But I think potential shareholding in the actual branches, right? And so this might take you 2, 3, 5 years to start to implement, man. And as you say, there's those kind of rhythms or those timelines that you're working on underneath. And so what I'll say is, yeah, you better get started soon, right? Because yeah, you're right. It does take ages to build people up and stuff like that. Induction plans are going to help you too. You need induction plans. You've got so much work to do.
You're over time, bro. You're way over time.
Yeah, I know. I try to jam it all in, but I hope that helps, Michelle. That's a pretty good sequence, strategic sequence. If you smack those off, you should be good.
Yes, interesting. Similar kind of questions that we've had with Faye's business, with the medical stuff, and it's really, it's cool. It's really cool.
I think Faye's tuning in, so I hope that helps you too, Faye. And then there was that other person. She was a business partner of one of your friends, I think. She had a similar business, right? Pilates, maybe.
Oh, yoga.
Yoga, right?
Yeah. You got anything you want to jam on regarding Biz Shiz this week?
Yep.
Go. 1 minute.
1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. We've committed to doing this every week, right? And look, obviously there's a commercial side to it with the small groups of business owners that we're running where we strategically support each other. But man, it's in the evenings and stuff like that. We've both been really busy in our personal lives. So well done to you, brother. I appreciate you, brother, for tuning up every week. Somewhat sharp. I mean, most of the time you're a doofus, let's be honest. But 1% of the time we get some sharpness.
Let's be honest, I'm carrying this thing.
Oh, thanks, brother. Big shoulders. I love your shoulders. But in saying that, we definitely do have plans. I think, it's about respecting that too and giving it the space that it needs to breathe and not always trying to improve it overly. Trying to let it go at its rhythm, which is set by us in our personal lives, as well as our day jobs, if you like. Hey, Marcus. So Marcus is part of Blind Spot. They just got on a tour. He's doing something really, really cool. CTOA. Marcus, this should be relevant to you guys, right? As you go to build our team. Anis is a great hire, as you know. But what I want to say is, if anyone out there needs some sound design kind of done, you guys need to hit up Marcus, right? Because obviously they do a great job, but they're also providing a pathway for our rangatahi or our youth into sound design and that industry. And so it's a beautiful thing. Everybody wins. I would call it a social venture as opposed to a not-for-profit or a charity. It's a social venture, man. And yeah, I'm going to give you a plug because what up, Blind Spot? And let's get some quality sound design. So yeah, with Biz Shiz, we need to give it some space and let it go at its natural rhythm. We can't be always forcing stuff. And that's probably something that I recommend for you as well, Michelle. But in saying that, we've got some good plans. We're going to start to grow the brand more. We want to keep it shorter and sharper. I swear less. I say less politically incorrect things. I say less controversial things. But I still take the piss and try to be real as well. I'm not uptight like Nick, man. He's so fucking uptight, right? Oh, this way.
Where's that
Just relax, man. Relax a bit. That way. We're both pointing the same way now.
Wait,
okay.
Count to 3 for us.
What about you, Biz Shiz? I'm keen to hear where you're at with it. We haven't caught up for ages, right?
Yeah, for me, man, like priorities right now are comp season. I've got heaps going on, so it's kind of like
ballet, right? Ballet comp season.
Yeah. I've just got my double, triple twirly gigs with my little ribbon thing. Looks fucking
awesome. 2-2.
The pointy shoes, all works. But yeah, had another meeting with.
Don't CrossFitters wear weightlifting shoes because they think they're weightlifters or something like that?
Yeah, we do. Yeah. But it's all the gear and no idea. Don't you know how it goes?
Yeah, CrossFitters. They've got all the gear and no idea. Yeah, I love that. All the gear and no idea. Fuck, I love that.
Yeah. You still haven't turned up even for a little jam with us, mate.
Oh, mate, yeah, my mate's coming down on Thursday. Actually, he wants me to have a jam too. So, but I'll blow my ass out. I don't even know what the point is. You put me on a soccer field, man. I'm not going to be any good. I don't know how to play soccer.
You will cry.
Yeah. We can video that if you want people to
Yeah,
see me crying.
yeah.
I'm good. I'm good.
But yeah, so I think, you know, the thing is, look, we're going to wrap up that in 2 weeks' time, that last squad, and then we are going to, move forward from there. But I'm
These
kind of just
motherfuckers. Wait, how long is your trial? Like 10 million weeks.
4 sessions, bro. It was oh god, anyway. But yeah, so I guess the thing is, you know, like I'm just keen to keep the rhythm going. Do the thing on the Tuesday. If people are keen to hear from us, you know, chuck us up comments, give us some feedback. Keen to hear what you guys think of the show. And bro, close it out tonight. What's your closing thoughts on tonight's topic around leadership? 20 seconds. Go.
Your people are everything to you in your future, in your business. Act accordingly.
It's good. Love it. Okay, sweet. Well done. See you guys next time, next Tuesday, 8:30. Bye for now.